There are so many different versions of you that exist in this world. Now, of course, you could just say there's just the base version of yourself, just me. Or you can, if you want to go a little bit more in depth, you can go on with the Japanese, I believe, proverb of the three faces, where you have the first face that I believe that you show it to the public or just the world, the second face that you show to your friends, your family, your close circle, whatever, and the third that you don't show to anyone. You only show to yourself. It's who you truly are behind closed doors that no one really ever sees. Well, no, but I guess that is what it is that no one will ever see. Maybe everything you do in your day-to-day life is a facade, it's just an act. Even with your friend groups, maybe you have 2 or 3 different friend groups and you switch up between friend group and you act differently between all the 3 of them. Each of those are different examples of a different version of you that exists. But the way that I look at it, I feel like there's even more than that. With just those examples, you can probably stretch it out to, I don't know, maybe 5, 6, 7, or 8 different faces or different versions of yourself that exist in this world. But I think there's so many more than that. I feel like every single person that you meet on a day-to-day basis, no matter how long you interact with them, sees you in a different light. And my interpretation of that is that that person sees you as a whole different person than who the people that see you on a day-to-day life, or in your day-to-day life rather. That person may meet you for the first time. Let's say you're having an incredible day. You're super cheery. You're like, hey, what's up? How's it going? How's the family? Whatever. And that person might walk away from that and let's say they got your name. They're like, wow, so-and-so is so incredibly nice. That's one of the nicest people I've ever met. One of the most caring people I've ever met. I genuinely can't believe it. And then let's say the next day you're going to work or you're in a store or something and you're having a horrible day and you don't necessarily mean to be, but somebody comes up to you and asks you a question and you come off as rude. That person now views you as a completely different person as the last guy. And let's say they're somehow friends and they're talking about you and they're like, oh, I met this guy, Jordan at work, and he's a jerk. He was super rude to me. He just refused to help with any of the issues that I had. And the other person is just utterly confused. She's like, oh, I met them the other day as well, and they were the nicest person that I've ever met. And now those two people have completely different viewings on you and on your personality. And even if you compare, even if those two people compare and go back and forth and say like, oh, he's super nice, or oh, he's super rude, whatever, until they meet you again, which is honestly very possible that they won't, because you meet countless people in your day-to-day life that you'll never see again, they won't really be able to put the other person's perspective into their own mind, because they already have a vision of you. They already know what you're like in their mind, and they kind of already made you into a separate person. So no matter how much the other person tells them how nice you are, they might be able to kind of change it slightly, but they won't really fully understand the type of person they met. And quite frankly, even then, I don't know. I just lost my train of thought completely. But that's just like a surface level of the different versions of yourself. And then of course you have your friend group and your family. And personally, I don't know how common it is, but my friends and my family alone, I feel, see different versions of myself. There are many jokes that I make to my friends that I wouldn't dare make in front of my family. Now, I don't know, I'm not smart enough to be able to say 100% if that means I'm a different person entirely to the two of them. I would say no, with the current way that I'm thinking and with how I'm thinking through this right now, but like I said, that's just two separate versions of myself that my friends and my family see separately that the other may not see. And that is seen as just a second face, but I feel like that alone is already split into two. And then if you have multiple friend groups, like I mentioned earlier, it's even more than that, because there's jokes online, memes online you'll see, and people are like, oh, when you accidentally make a friend group A joke to friend group B, you already have 3 different versions of you that exist in between these 3 groups. And I don't know, I guess to me it's just a weird thought. It's a weird thought to know that so many people think of you in a different light, and so many people have different versions of you that exist in their head. And even your friends alone, with the experiences that you've been through with them and the conversations that you've had with them, may look at you different. Hopefully not in a bad way if they're your friends, but I've had conversations with some of my friends who, not that I wouldn't have them with others, but that I don't know, I guess I don't feel I would gain anything out of it with some of my other friends, or they're just not as interested in the topic, or if I have a question about something, not as knowledgeable on it, or if it's like a struggle that I've been through and my friend's been through the same thing, I can go to them about it and they'll know that side of me, that face whatever struggle it may be, when a lot of my other friends wouldn't. And they might, that I feel is enough to completely change your view on someone. You can see them as someone more emotionally intelligent or unintelligent, I guess, depending on how the conversation goes. But you may see them as a completely different person through that, because like, in case, however the conversation flows, I guess, is the way that I'm trying to think through that and phrase that right now. Or if it's something that, like a story they're telling you, and how you reacted to it. If you reacted to it poorly, they may say, like, you're gonna thought in their head, like, oh, this is kind of emotionally intelligent of them, or even if they call you out on it, whatever, they have that thought in your head. I don't think it could be enough to permanently change their thought on you, but whatever. But that's just a completely separate version of you that now exists in the head of your friend, and it may not be something, completely different. Like, let's say you're funny, smart, emotionally intelligent, or something like that, and now your friend comes to you for help for something, and you help them, and you I don't know, you send them some money, or you help them think through something, or whatever the case may be. Now all of a sudden you're also reliable. But to the other people, to your other friends that haven't had to rely on you for money, or for help, or for, I don't know, to cure some boredom or something, they don't have that thought of you, I guess, is the best. This is kind of assuming, like, you're kind of just new friends with them, I guess. I feel like I'm kind of just yapping here. But it's just weird to me how many different versions of you that exist. And of course, the last one, you don't show anyone. If you believe in God, then of course it's just between you and God, and you'll hear that saying. More people will say, like, oh yeah, this secret is just between me and God, or I'll die with it, whatever the case may be. But I do believe that is the final base, the final version of yourself that nobody else will know. Honestly, maybe not even your girlfriend or your wife or husband or boyfriend. It's a version of you that they may not even know. Maybe they ask you something, or ask you to do something, or whatever, and you think one thing, but you do the opposite. Hopefully you think something, I don't know, I was gonna say hopefully think something bad, do something good, or just, I guess, be upset in your head, but still do it anyway. I think that's a good judgment of character. But regardless, it shows that it's a revelation of the final self, I guess, is where I'm trying to go with this. I feel like I'm yapping. I'm sorry if you made it this far. It's just fucking bored out of your mind. But that last phase that you just don't show anyone other than yourself, that no one knows your deepest struggles, your deepest secrets that are literally just between you and God, or you and the universe, whatever you believe in. And that's a version that no one will ever know, which is a story in itself. Maybe I'll talk about that some other day, but I don't know, I'm just sitting here. Should probably be fucking sleeping. It's like 11:30. Sorry for cursing. But I just wanted to think through this really quickly, and I just think it's a weird thing to me, how many different versions of you that exist, and how many different faces that you've shown to the world. And even myself, I've met some people where I might have a completely different depiction of them compared to somebody else, or one of my friends, tells me about someone, and I had a completely different interaction with them the first time I met them. It's just, I don't know, it's just weird to me. I'm yapping. As per usual, if you made it this far in the video, thank you very much. I would obviously appreciate it if you liked, commented, subscribed, anything of the sort. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a very good day or night whenever you're watching this. If you have anything you'd like to hear me talk about for whatever dang reason, just leave it in the comments, and I'll try to get to it. I'm always looking for video ideas. I have a few more that I want to get to before I gotta start thinking up some new things. But regardless, again, thank you guys so much for watching. Have a very good day or night whenever you're watching this. Yeah, I guess just thank you. Much love, and goodbye.